Have you ever looked at an ex-spouse and thought, why are you still so invested in my love life? If you have, then you are going to deeply relate to the upcoming drama on Beyond the Gates. The promo for the week of July 27 to July 31 has just dropped, and it is packed with moments that will make you gasp, laugh, and seriously question the boundaries of the Richardson-Dupree family dynamic. We are talking about intimate office interrogations, wild family parties, and a bedroom scene that gets hilariously derailed. Let us break down the logic, the emotion, and the sheer audacity of what is about to happen. The weekly preview kicks off with a scene that immediately sets off alarm bells for anyone who understands the complicated history of Ted Richardson and Nicole Dupree. We find the former spouses alone in Ted's hospital office. The atmosphere is thick with that undeniable, lingering familiarity that only two people who used to be married can share. Ted looks at Nicole and asks her a remarkably blunt question. Is she in love with Dr. Kiao Rollins or Dr. Carlton Fitzgerald? Instead of telling him to mind his own business, which, let us be honest, many of us would have done, Nicole smiles sweetly and delivers a line that is dripping with sentimentality. She looks right at him and says, "You still know me better than anyone." Cue the dramatic music. That response is undeniably cheesy and incredibly mushy, especially considering these two are exes who have recently been through the emotional ringer together with their daughter Kat's life-threatening surgery. It is the kind of line that immediately makes fans scream at their televisions, wondering if the writers are planting the seeds for a controversial Tom and Katie style reunion. Are Ted and Nicole heading towards a romantic reconciliation? Let us use our brains here and look at the actual logic of the situation. The short answer is no. A reunion is highly unlikely right now. Why? Because we have to remember the broader context of Ted's current life. Ted just recently confessed his profound love to Shanice Johnson. He is actively trying to build a serious, committed future with her. So, what is the real motive behind Ted's sudden, intense curiosity about Nicole's romantic life? It all comes down to workplace politics and a lingering sense of protective overreach. Both Kiel Rollins and Carlton Fitzgerald are Ted's colleagues at Garland Memorial Hospital. The medical community in Fairmont Crest is incredibly tight-knit, and Ted holds a significant position of influence. He is likely asking this probing question because he wants to ensure that the workplace environment remains completely comfortable for everyone involved. If Nicole is dating one of his peers, Ted wants to guarantee that there will be no awkward fallout that could disrupt the hospital's harmony. Furthermore, Ted is trying to establish a baseline of emotional safety. He wants to be absolutely sure that when they both fully move on with other people, there will be no lingering resentment or messy emotional entanglements. It is a misguided attempt at being the good guy and the protective ex. He is seeking confirmation that Nicole is truly ready to step into a new chapter, fully aware that her choices directly impact his professional circle. It is not about winning her back, it is about managing the ecosystem of their shared life. Meanwhile, far away from the sterile, complicated walls of the hospital, the energy at the Dupree mansion is shifting into high gear. The scene transitions to the grand estate, where the matriarch herself, Anita Dupree, is vibrating with excitement. She enthusiastically announces to her husband, Vernon Dupree, and her son-in-law, Martin Richardson, that she wants to party hard. If anyone in Fairmont Crest has earned the absolute right to let loose and party hard, it is Anita Dupree. Think about the sheer volume of trauma this woman has endured recently. She bravely fought and defeated breast cancer, enduring grueling chemotherapy and a lumpectomy. She survived a catastrophic tornado that nearly destroyed their community. She watched her granddaughter Kat risk her life in a terrifying liver transplant surgery. After months of living in a constant state of fear, anxiety, and medical sterile environments, Anita is finally ready to embrace life with open arms. She wants to celebrate survival, resilience, and the triumph of her. This infectious, joyous energy quickly spreads. The promo cuts to the country club, where Nicole is spending time with her handsome new beau, Kiel Rollins. She looks down at her phone, reading a text message, and a smile spreads across her face. She looks up at Kiel and says, "Looks like Mom wants us to go to Uptown." What follows is a glorious, much-needed montage of pure joy. We are treated to short, vibrant video clips of the entire Dupree family, including Kiel taking over the Uptown Club. They are seen dancing the night away, laughing, and shedding the heavy burdens that have weighed them down for so long. It is a beautiful, cinematic release. The Duprees have so much to be thankful for right now. The cancer is gone, the surgeries were successful, and the family is united. Seeing them celebrate together, with Kial seamlessly integrating into the family dynamic, is a heartwarming reminder of why we love this resilient clan. But of course, this is beyond the gates, and the wholesome family moments must inevitably give way to steamy, soapy drama. After a long night of partying, dancing, and celebrating life, Nicole and Kial decide to take the after party back to the bedroom. They are ready to enjoy some very private, highly anticipated, intimate moments together. The weekly video gives us a tantalizing glimpse of this steamy encounter. We see Nicole in bed, out of breath and panting. The atmosphere is heavy with power, but suddenly the mood is completely shattered. Nicole gasps in shock, looking toward the door, and asks an unseen intruder what on earth they are doing. The camera pans, and there stands Dani Dupree in the doorway. In a moment of pure, unadulterated comedic brilliance, Dani quickly covers her eyes with her hands and lets out a cheeky giggle, exclaiming, "Oops!" The sheer awkwardness of the moment is palpable, but it quickly transitions into fantastic sisterly banter. The scene cuts to the hallway outside the bedroom, where Dani and Nicole are standing face to face. Dani, never one to miss an opportunity for a sarcastic remark, looks at her sister and says, "I don't know why you'd leave that alone in the bedroom unguarded." Let us just pause and appreciate the absolute hilarity of Dani's comment. She is directly referencing Kial's undeniable physical appeal, basically telling her sister that a man who looks like that should never be left unattended. It is a classic, witty Dani Dupree moment. However, if we look a little deeper, this playful, joking demeanor is actually a fascinating psychological mask. Think about what Dani is currently hiding. She is drowning in a sea of guilt over her secret, panic-induced elevator hookup with her toxic ex-husband, Bill Hamilton. She is terrified of destroying her beautiful marriage to Andre Richardson. Her own romantic life is a ticking time bomb of deception and regret. So, for Dani, walking in on her sister's uncomplicated, joyful romance with Kial is a momentary escape from her own dark reality. Making a cheeky joke about Kial's physique allows Dani to project a facade of normalcy and lightheartedness, even while she is internally spiraling. It is a brilliant piece of character writing that adds layers to a seemingly simple comedic scene. Now, let us circle back to the overarching rumor that is bound to set the fandom on fire this week. The spoiler timelines have teased that Ted crosses a major boundary with his ex-wife, Nicole. Naturally, this phrasing is going to lead many viewers to jump to the conclusion that Ted and Nicole ended up in bed together, betraying Shanice and Kial in the process. But let us apply some sharp, logical analysis. Does it make any sense for Ted to make a physical move on Nicole right now? Absolutely not. Ted is not going to make that catastrophic mistake again. Not when he has finally found solid ground and a fresh start with Shanice. The boundary that Ted crosses is not physical. It is emotional and psychological. The crossed boundary is exactly what we saw in the office scene. Ted is overstepping his bounds by inserting himself into Nicole's private dating life. He is offering unsolicited, patriarchal guidance under the guise of protecting the workplace and knowing her better than anyone, by asking her to choose between Kiel and Carlton, and by demanding to know the intimate details of her heart. Ted is crossing a massive line of respect. He is no longer her husband, and he has no right to demand clarity on her romantic choices, regardless of whether her suitors are his colleagues. This brings us to the ultimate twist insight of the week. Ted's intrusive behavior, while annoying, might actually be the exact catalyst Nicole needs to fully commit to Kial. Sometimes, dealing with the controlling, overbearing nature of an ex is the starkest reminder of why the marriage ended in the first. When Ted tries to manage her feelings, Nicole will inevitably contrast that with the easy, supportive, and unproblematic joy she experiences with Kiel, as evidenced by their wonderful night at Uptown. Ted's attempt to play the wise, knowing ex-husband will backfire. He realizes that Nicole has likely already chosen Kiel, and his meddling only solidifies her decision. Ted wants to make sure everyone is comfortable, but in doing so, he makes himself the uncomfortable third wheel in a dynamic he no longer controls. As we look ahead to this phenomenal week of television, we are left with a fascinating dynamic to ponder. How do you navigate a new passionate romance when your ex-spouse is not only your co-parent, but also a powerful figure in your new partner's workplace? The tangled web of Fairmont Crest medical professionals is providing us with premium entertainment. Will Ted finally learn to step back and focus entirely on Shanice? Will Nicole and Kial's romance survive the watchful eyes of her ex and her hilariously intrusive sister? And most importantly, will Anita Dupree's party era continue to bring this family the joy they so desperately deserve? We will be watching every single second to find out.